Hey guys, Rick here. Today is February 7th. It is grow time. Kind of. Anyway, I'm doing my flowers today. So here's what I got going on. I recycle trays year after year, and I will be planting majority of my flowers in these things here. I just use your basic Walmart Jiffy Mix for my seed starting. And then this year I will be growing these here. This is a new one for me, Snow in the Summer. And this is also a new one, Lobelia. And I grow marigolds every year, so all I'm doing is just recycling the bulbs, and I will just be planting those down into my seed trays as well. So this is just going to be kind of a tutorial, if you will. I mean, I know there's plenty of them out in on YouTube land, but I wanted to show you. This is my garden. This is my flower bed, rather. So this one's about 20 foot long on this end here, and about 16 feet wide right there at the elbow. So this is where I try to make everything look real pretty for the spring, and it's been doing real good. I'll see if I can put some pictures up of last year or the previous year's flower bed when I used my marigolds, and I think there was a couple other things, some Dusty Millers, which I don't grow. I'll just end up buying those if I do those again. So that is kind of that there. So I want to get everything set up here. And what I'll do is take this stuff down to my grow room in my utility closet where I grow all my vegetables, or my indoor vegetables. I can't say all of them. Where I start my indoor vegetables, and 3 rows. It's a 4x8 shelf rack. Well, 2 rows right now. I took the third one out last year, but I'll probably put it back in later this week and get that all set up there. So one of these rows is going to be made strictly for my flowers, and I wanted to go ahead and get those guys started because it was a nice day. I went ahead and mulched my flower bed yesterday. Went to our compost facility, got a bunch of mulch, and put it out there. I never mulched it before, but weeds get kind of bad sometimes, and early on it's real easy to keep on top of them. Being that marigolds really don't take a lot of, you don't really need to maintain them that often. They just kind of do their own thing, and once they're planted, and probably a good initial watering, really don't have to do much. But I will water them probably every 3 or 4 days, somewhere in there. So I put the mulch down to kind of help with the weeding this year, and see if we can just get everything all pretty all year long so the weeds don't take off. So, all right, guys, I'm going to pause the video for just a moment. I'm going to get everything set up, and I will be right back. All right, see you in just a few. All right, first things first. Let me move these on out the way for the moment. What you want to do, is kind of just get a mixture, get a mixing bowl, or I'm just using an old tray. I got my knife on me? I don't. Huh. Oh, I might use that there. Let's see. All right, we're good there. So just get an old mixing tray, and you kind of want to moisten this up a little bit. So the stuff is actually fairly fine. Just do a little bit at a time. I want to kind of moisten it just a hair. That way it's a better success rate for your seeds. So just a little bit of water in there. So I'm just going to pour just a little bit, not too much. All right. And just kind of get your hands on down in it. Mix it on around some. And you want it to be somewhat tacky, but not too much. I guess it really depends on how you water. I bottom water my my trays, so water is gonna actually make its way up. I forgot what the official term of it is, but You see, got some little sticks in there. You kind of want to get those on out. And just mix it around till you got a little bit of tackness to it. So let me do this for a little bit. I'm gonna add just a hair more water on top of that. So, and what this also does is help break up any clumps, because starting seeds, that's kind of the delicate part. And you need to give the roots enough room to be able to break through the soil. And easier and break through the soil, the better chance it has to go in ahead and germinate. All right, so we got a little bit of tackness there. So, and that should actually do it from this point. So, doing this on top of my deep freezer out in the garage. All right, so at this point, I'm going to get a tray. Let's see, we'll just use these for now. So what these are, just some basic trays that can just be reused over and over again. And once you get your seeds in your soil, you just bottom water it, put water in the bottom, and there's little bitty drain holes on the inside of these, and the water able to keep seeping up, and that way you don't have to actually water it every day. But being a garden aficionado, if you will, I do check them every day, and just to make sure everything stays up to par and doesn't dry out. So now I'm just sprinkle your soil into your trays there, and you don't pack anything down. You just put it on in there, and then just kind of leveling it off at that point. All right. So we should be good there for this one. Let me go ahead and do this other one while I'm at it. And then at that point, what we'll do is poke a small hole into the soil, drop the seeds in, and wash, rinse, repeat. So I've been a vegetable gardener for a long time, growing up on a farm here in Kansas. But last year, if you've seen some of my previous videos, was my first year of raised beds. Now I live in a suburban area, and I really like the idea. So when I eventually move back to a farm, which I will probably incorporate raised beds in that as well, being that there was more than enough food to feed my family, and pretty much my neighborhood gave a lot of stuff away. And that's kind of the ideal for gardening. So an ounce of seed to produce, probably hundreds of pounds of produce on top of all of that. So, okay, now at this point here, what I'm going to do is, let's see, what should we start with? We'll start with the snow in the summer seeds there. So first thing I'm gonna do is poke a small hole in it. I didn't bring a pencil down, but maybe it. Yep. How about a crossbow arrow? So I'll just poke a small hole right in the middle, not too deep. And then you'll just drop 2 or 3 seeds in. Now with my flowers, I don't thin them out because I like to get as much cover as I can. I don't grow any really big, tall flowers outside of sunflowers, and I grow those in my vegetable garden. But up front here in my flower bed, I don't bother thinning anything out because I'd much rather just go ahead and branch on off anyway, and kind of give it some decent ground cover. And I think that makes it look really beautiful at that point. So probably, I say these holes are probably less than 1/4 of an inch thick or deep rather. And now I will open these seeds, snow and summer. Yeah, never grew these before, so I have no idea what they look like, but they said that they was a useful ground cover, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. So hopefully the mulch will do its job with the weeds, and these things will grow on top of it and make it look really beautiful, like snow and summer. So just rip that on off there. ADD kicking in just a little bit. So okay, these seeds are really small. All right, I'm gonna just pour them off into my hand. Just some of them anyway. Yeah, these are real small. My goodness. Well, we'll see how this works. So I don't know if this stuff should have been direct sowed or not. I don't even know if you can actually see these things. Wow. All right. It's gonna take a little bit of effort here. So I say 2 or 3 seeds. It's probably gonna be a lot more than that. But I did get 2 packets of it. So we'll see how this works. And with the size of these seeds, I'm starting to think that probably should have just got a bigger pot per se, and just sprinkled them on over there, or probably just some sand. And I've done that with some of the smaller seeds as well. So I don't know how many's actually in them holes, but we'll see if we can get this all taken care of here, as I don't plan on thinning them out. And we'll just kind of see what happens. So much like my garden my vegetable garden, I like to try different flowers every year too. So marigold's always going to be a staple, but just because they're so simple and I think they're beautiful. But yeah, I'll try a few different flowers every year, just to kind of break the monotony, if you will. So okay, I think that's all of that one. So all right, let me go ahead and open up this next package, and we'll see how these germinate. If they do okay, I'll do the transplant, or if they struggle, I'll either go with something else or I'll just go get some more packages of these and just do a direct sow into the flower bed when it warms up. So again, that's just kind of the experiment there. So if I was to guess, it's probably getting a dozen or so seeds in these holes here. As if I was to guess, I really don't know. So haven't really grown anything as far as directly related to ground cover, but it's a cool thing about gardening. You know, half the pleasure is just the experimenting with it. Did I forget a couple holes here? All right. So that's just about in there. All right, yeah, I'm gonna use all these seeds, looks like. Okay, that's that. So at this point, I'll just run my fingers over each hole instead of putting more dirt on top of it, more soil, and just kind of close those holes in. So I got a feeling with the size of these seeds, they've actually could have just been put right on top and done just fine. But yeah, you definitely don't want to top water anything like this until you get some sprouts because top water, no telling where them seeds will end up at. And I learned that indoor starting my seeds indoors is still a fairly new thing for me. I've been doing it for religiously for the past 3 years, but I did it sporadically over the last 20, probably 2 or 3 times, and that wasn't even with a setup that I had. I just left it out in my garage. Had like a little makeshift greenhouse. Open the garage door up, and if they sprout, they sprout. They don't, they don't. So a lot more success rate with an actual setup though. So all right, guys, and at this point, this one is ready. So that's going on to the green room, and I might finish up the rest of them, and we'll be back in a moment, and I will walk you through my grow room rather, and show you pictures of it, videos of it, and kind of where my setup is. So, all right, I will be back in just a moment. All right, guys, so I got everything down here in my grow room, and got everything set up here. So these are just a big 4x8 box that I got enclosed in foil, and my tops and things. So I got it all moistened. So I just use water, just regular water. These are just old distilled water things that I'll fill up. I'll just let it sit down here at the bottom on this level here to get all the chlorine and stuff out of it. But so these two are marigolds. Get the top off of there. These two here are marigolds, and I got water at the bottom of these already. So you can see that. So that's normally pretty good to last for I say 3 or 4 days. This one's a snow in the summer, and these are lobelias. So let's take a step back. So this is the cabinet itself. So it's got 3 different levels on it. Again, I haven't used the bottom one, but I probably will this year. Second level, these are the flowers here, and I will close that. Probably need to change the foil this year too, but it ain't really hurting much of nothing. And this is where I was growing my tomatoes and peppers and stuff for last year that haven't set up yet, but I'll get to it. So, all right, guys, that's this video. So, on just starting seeds indoors. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.